Everybody always guesses the most important thing incorrectly. Knowing the correct answer, though, is how you get clients. What's happening, everybody? Boy, we have a lot to cover this time, so let's get it. Creating organizational habits that lead to efficient workflows and traveling light were the themes of the first two videos in this series. And I will leave a link right here. And I encourage you to watch those ones first. Now the rubber starts hitting the road, because to make your real estate photography business explode in 2022, you need clients. Duh, right? So here's my unique qualification relating to this subject. Those who are familiar with the channel may know that I have been a licensed California real estate agent for about 10 years. And that is how I made my living for several years before I got into shooting real estate professionally. These days, I'm in my fourth year as a full-time real estate photographer and videographer. I keep my sales license active and hung with a local broker just so I have lockbox access to vacant homes. That's something that I have found is an advantage in shooting homes professionally. So I'm loving life. You know, it's the best thing I ever did, making the switch over to full-time media. I have no doubt, though, that one of the things, if not the main thing, which has enabled me to be successful as quickly as I have been, is because being a formerly full-time realtor, I understand the headspace of a real estate agent, and that's important. Not all of it, but the key things are important with that understanding. How do you sell to them? Which carrot do you dangle in front of them? Well, keep watching, because we're going to get into it here. The world, as of this recording, is still locked down for COVID, though it's finally starting to look like we're getting this thing behind us. Real estate offices, every one of them, have regularly scheduled sales meetings. Most common is weekly, but some offices do it monthly. I've already been pitching my services at these sales meetings for some time before COVID, and it's pretty easy to do. You just call them up and offer to bring some donuts or something, and they usually say yes. But then COVID came around, and all these meetings went to Zoom. That is awesome for us, because you see, now you can get in front of so many more people and attend so many more of these meetings than if you were actually having to physically go there, right? So, snapshot in time, February 2022, and offices that I am familiar with are now starting to do a hybrid thing where they'll have agents come into the conference space if they want to, while simultaneously streaming that meeting out on Zoom for people to participate like that. And interestingly, it looks like Zoom is here to stay, and why not? You know, everyone's familiar with the platform now that we've been using it for a couple of years. So that's great news for us, because the most efficient way to market to new potential clients is to get in front of as many as you can at the same time. These meetings are a great way to do that. So start making those calls. Okay, so now you've gotten into the Zoom meeting. Now what do? The first thing, and most important thing by a country mile, is that your setup is dialed. I'm talking about your Zooming setup, right? If it doesn't look and sound 5 times better than everyone else attending that virtual meeting, it's a bit more difficult convincing them that you're the professional they need. I have a studio set up just for streaming and Zoom calls and everything. I used to do most of my YouTube videos from it and still use it a few times per week to attend these sales meetings we're talking about and meet with clients. Have your shot dialed. Now, the pitch. And why is the first thing I said on this video that everybody guesses wrong. So my initial pitch goes something like this. I first ask the room if they know the most important reason they should use a professional real estate photographer to shoot their listings. Out of the many times that I've pitched this, I have yet to have an agent answer correctly. The answers I do get, if any at all, are always to sell the home or to show the seller you're working. Another variant of that one is to justify your commission. And yeah, those are all reasons, but they aren't any of them the most important reason. So next, what I'll do, after I tell them they're wrong, is put this up on the screen and ask if any of them recognize it. Someone always will, and will answer Toyota. I'll ask, okay, what do you think of when you see this logo? Maybe reliability, safety, family. That didn't happen by accident. Toyota has spent a lot of time and effort carefully crafting their brand. Toyota doesn't want you to buy a car from them. They want you to buy a car and the next and the next and the next from them. They want you to tell everybody how great your new Toyota is so they can sell them cars too. Branding. That's what the most important part of real estate photography is. Speaking to the room here, as if I'm talking to them still, I will tell them, I know that each and every one of you get ads out in front of you all the time by firms who are looking to increase your presence. They want to shore up your social media, optimize search results, and on and on and on. The problem with that approach is that your listings you've been shooting yourself look like trash. And is that really what you want shouted from the rooftops? Is that the level of service you want your brand to represent? It's going to look awful. Of course not, right? You got to get to the core. Professional interiors photography is not about selling the home you're having photographed today. It's about selling Toyotas for life, right? It's what you show the next potential listing client that matters. And when everything across all of your virtual presence is consistent, beautiful, it speaks volumes about you passively and keeps your pipeline full because now you've effectively leveraged the branding. So this pitch works with real estate agents. I've pitched this many times and have gained good repeat clients, at least one, each and every single time. And to put that in perspective, my best, busiest independent agent clients are spending upwards of $10,000 per year or so on my services. So yeah, it works. Now, I offer all kinds of other stuff than stills photography, and while I have pitches for that stuff too, and we can get into that some other time, the core business is always going to be high quality stills photography. That's what every home listing needs, and that's what's going to get your foot in the door to be able to offer those other services as well. So on this channel, we talk a lot about gear, and it's because gear's fun, right? But you'll notice that I didn't mention gear, not even once in my branding presentation, and that's by design. The last thing you ever want a client to hire you for is your camera, because even if it's a level of camera they will never own, by even mentioning gear, you devalue your experience and skill. So what kind of camera do you use? It doesn't matter, because if I handed them nearly 10 grand worth of Sony Alpha 1 and G Master lenses that I use for real estate shoots, I could still deliver better photos than they could if I shot them with my cell phone. That's what they're paying you for. The A1's a bonus. Also keep in mind that you're pitching this to a target audience. That is, top producing agents and new agents, almost exclusively. The top producers understand the value of their pipeline remaining full. They have the money to spend, and they know everybody. You do a great job for them, and it will turn into you gaining new clients by word of mouth. And the new agents are new. right? They don't have to let go of old habits and rebrand themselves. They can do it right from the jump. So there is another category of agents, and those are ones you shouldn't focus on. And those are typically old salts who are mediocre producers. That's not to say that you don't want them as clients, and often they make fantastic clients, but there's just not a lot of upside there. Not like there is with the new agents and the top producers. You still should have a great relationship with those old salts, though, and they're often the most fun to be around, too. Finally, there are agents that you should run from. Okay, and this is any agent who haggles your price. Just turn tail. If they found someone cheaper, awesome. Wish them luck. When you start haggling price, it's a slippery slope and an unwinnable situation for you. Now, I'm not saying you can't incentivize and throw bones to good clients every now and then. They appreciate that, but it's on your terms, always. Okay, so I know this was a bit of a long one, and it really could have been much longer, but thanks for watching till the end. Let me know in the comments if you've ever pitched something similar to this to a room full of agents and how it worked for you. The series continues next time. I have been saying next week, but it's been about 2 weeks or so. I'm going to try to do it next week with what it means to be a real estate photography company, not just a business. Till then, stay cool.